Okay, I just lost this movie. I gotta remake it. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make, how to draw this curved shape out over an object like this. It's really good for drawing nerves, arteries, and veins. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a shape like this, straight up the y-axis. Okay, I mean straight up the. Is that where it is? It's actually, yeah, it's up the y-axis, like this, and you're going to look at it like this. I crease the ends, and the reason I did that is if you look at, if you go back to the other one, I'll show you when we get over there, but basically you need to crease the ends, and you do that by going down, by selecting just the polygons at the top and the bottom, and hitting this button crease. All right, and you don't want, the only edges you want creased are at the top face and the bottom face. All right, so with the model like that, the mask cleared, you're going to go create insert mesh, new. If you wanted to append it, you can do that. And then back here, when you're on this other model, you're just going to draw it out. And it comes out like that. It's important that they have separate polygroups. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go under stroke and set curve mode. You can leave that alone. Go under the brush settings. Leave the depth where it is for now. Try parts is clicked, weld points. And so now, when we draw this out, we get a curve like that. And the curve is based on the brush size. So if I change to a larger brush, and see this curve is still active, this black and red line. If I click on it now with a larger brush, it will change and update the size of the brush. Does that make sense? So let's do that again. And then you can save this brush, and you only have to make it once. You can share it amongst your team members. All right, so that is, and you can see it's sitting nicely on the shape. If I wanted it deeper, I could drag this deeper like this, and then click back on it, and it would set it lower and also higher. And that would make it hover. And so I think we want something about like that. And this brush stays active. Again, you can change the size, and you can also move it around. The moving it around part isn't the most useful, I don't think, because as soon as you move it, sometimes you can drag it like that, and but usually you drag it up, and it will snap. It's supposed to snap. The most useful thing is that you can continue to draw on it. So before you click on it, you can see that, so let's see how that little red line extends beyond the brush. If you click there and then draw out, it will continue to draw the brush. All right, I pulled it up above the surface, so it's, see that little red line, and the brush will turn from red back to blue. And then you can continue to draw it like this. And this way you can draw all the way around an object. There are other tools for drawing circumferentially around an object, but those aren't terribly useful. So lots of times, like for drawing the facial nerve, I'll make a rough model that is only for placement of the nerves. And if I'm going to have, and so let's say I wanted to make these nerves attach. Basically the way you accept, let's say this is how I want it for now. You would click once on the model, and it would take, basically. It would basically flatten that onto the shape. Doesn't work with subdivided models. So let's say we wanted this to now merge in. We had another one that came in like this. We wanted another nerve to come in like that. All right. And let's say we want these to link up. All right, so let's say that's the problem. So, all right, because this looks good. All right, so I clicked once here and I flattened it down. It's masked everything else, and I deselect it. I'm going to delete everything but these two shapes. And now I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to bridge these together. And this is basically how I went through and made the facial nerve in the other model. BZM will bring up the ZModeler brush. And now I'm going to go through and I'm going to delete a single poly. Got that from holding down the space bar. I'm going to hold down Option key, click, drag, just to select all of them at once. And then I'm going to delete them. Now they're deleted. I am going to delete that, this, and this. And then I'm going to get, so I have two open shapes. I'm going to hover over an edge, hold down spacebar, bridge, two holes. You can leave these at defaults. Click, click. And if I drag up, I add polygons to the bridge. And if I drag to the right, it'll try to smooth it out. You don't need to do either of those things. This is fine, right, like that. And now they're bridged together. I do still need to I don't want that creased, and I'll show you why. If I activate dynamic subdivisions under right here under dynamic subdiv, you can see the creasing does something I don't really want. Not cap red wax. There we go. You can see it's going through and adding. It's basically creasing it. You don't want that. So I'm going to select that, invert the selection, come in. I'm going to turn off dynamic for a second. And this is, you can see, it's hard to see on the video, I'm sure, but these little dotted lines here are what we want to uncrease. And I'm going to say uncrease. That didn't do it. So I'm going to say uncrease all for now if we have to, just so you can see what that will do. Now if we hit D, say always yes. Right now it's much smoother. But that's how you bridge stuff together. That's how you use the curve brush. And that's it, I think. Okay.